Hi, this is Brandon Splay from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the lateral shuffle to sprint. All right, this is a speed and agility exercise we put in our programs for athletes that generally got to work on moving side to side laterally, and they got to open up and sprint. So obviously a sport you kind of think of initially is baseball, softball. They're shuffling sideways, getting ready to steal a base or something, and then they take off. Obviously, this could be used for any other kind of sport that's in field play, to where you're shuffling, guarding somebody and take off. You could have you in basketball. Really, it's just a good speed and agility exercise to focus on pressing off the backside and opening up while we're moving. Obviously, this is a semi-closed drill because we know what's going to happen. We know we're going to laterally shuffle and we know we're going to sprint. Usually, we're programming this where we're going to tell the athlete how long we're going to shuffle and at which point they're going to sprint and then how long they're going to sprint. Our turf is 25 yards, so usually we do a lateral shuffle for 5 yards and open up and sprint. But you also could do this on a visual or an audible cue. You can basically have your athlete laterally shuffle as long as you want them to shuffle, and then you can either clap your hands for an audible so they need to open up, or you can point, or you can throw something. There's a lot of different ways and stimuli that you could do this. So use your imagination, your creativity to get your athletes to perform this is something they might need. And usually in the off season, we're usually just programming a set distance and working on the mechanics. And then in season, obviously, if you want to add that in to re-add that reactive stimuli, you certainly can. So to give you a demo here for the lateral shuffle, we're going to be a good athletic stance, and we're going to work on shuffling. And when we shuffle, we really want to make sure the athletes understand to push hard off the back foot. Okay, we're not going to pull ourselves. Okay, it's not a gallop, it's a shuffle. So we're going to be in a good athletic stance here. We're going to push hard. All right, we want to make sure we're understanding that we're pushing. All right, because at any point, especially if you're using an audible or visual cue, at any point could you tell them to go. And so we've got to make sure that we're pushing hard every single time, because it could be the next time that we got to open up and go. All right, so just for the demonstration purposes here, I'm just going to laterally shuffle twice and then open up. All right, so I'm going to be here and then go. As we sprint in slow motion here, we want to make sure during the athletic position we're going to push hard, open, push hard, open. On that third one, what happened, I pushed and I knew I had to go, so I came this way. All right, we don't want to crossover step here in this instance. We're not going to crossover step very often in sports, only certain circumstances really. So we're going to push, open. This is our redirectional step. Okay, we're going to push, redirect here. As we open, we're going to make sure we bring that arm through. Okay, so this arm's going to bring us forward. Our back arm's going to come behind so we can start taking off. All right, so one more time here so you get a little idea. Push, push, and on the third time, we're going to open. Push, push. All right, last one here. I'm going to go a little bit slower. Push, push, open. All right. Not a hard drill, in all honesty. You're going to find many kids are going to have a hard time with that lateral push-off part. Okay, they're going to try to gallop and then go, and we don't want that. All right, we want good quality steps, hard pushes, cover some ground, put that foot into the ground so you can open up and redirect. Obviously, when you're going to sprint too, when we redirect, we're going to keep our center of gravity. We're going to stay low. We don't want to come here and open or go to sprint. Your younger athletes, that's going to be their first instinct. So my first suggestion there would be to find some kind of sprinting thing that's going to teach them about forward lean, because this is definitely a little bit more advanced than just teaching forward lean. You got to be able to understand the forward lean aspect to lean forward to keep going. But many of your athletes, it's going to be their first thing that they kind of want to do is just pull up and go. All right. So obviously you're going to probably train both sides. Figure out on your facility and the kind of space that you have available how that would work. We are usually using 5-yard lateral shuffles, and then we open up, or we can even do 2.5, or we can do a visual cue or audible cue. That's really just depending upon the time of year and everything like that. So we usually do this for 1 to 2 reps per side. So push, push, and opening, and then doing that twice on that side, then twice on the other, is usually about the most that we do. We try to keep in context how many yards we're kind of running. We also got to think about our time, what we have this paired with, all that good stuff. But 3, 4, 5 sets of 1 to 2 per side is going to be ample to really work on this drill week after week after week. And as your athletes get it, then you can kind of progress on to something a little more advanced. So if you have any questions, feel free in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.